Hi, we're going to talk a little bit about how to manage your club as a club officer at Toastmasters.org, sometimes called TMI or Toastmasters International, but the website is Toastmasters.org. First, be a club officer. Second, log in. I recommend using a password manager for just about everything. It's not always the snappiest site, but it gets the job done. Now, when you log in, you should see the homepage here. If you don't, if you see a different screen, you can go up to the top where your name is, hover over here. Don't click down, but hover, and then select My Home, and it'll bring you to this view. You can see lots of the same things a regular club member sees here, but there's also this Leadership Central section. And if you're a club officer, Club Central should not be grayed out. It'll be an option for you to select. If we click there, it'll take us to where we can actually start managing the club. Submit education awards. Likely you don't need to know about this unless you're the Vice President of Education or possibly the President or Secretary. Those are the officers that are in charge of managing Basecamp. And one step a lot of people don't realize is after you approve an award in Basecamp, you need to come here and approve it in TMI's website as well. And this is the spot you do it. Now, any officer can do this. Your club may choose to do things differently, but most clubs stick with the Vice President of Education or one of the other Basecamp managers doing this. Any officer can assign an award to any member except themselves. You can't give yourself an award, so there is that bit of governance built in. Membership management. There's not a lot of actual options here to manage the members. I'm not going to click on this or a couple other sections because I don't want to give away our club's members' names, addresses, things like that. But in here, you can see who's currently a member of your club, when the next time they owe dues are, and whether or not they're enrolled in pathways, as well as a few other minor things. Club contact and meeting information. This is one of the most important things, especially as we're in this weird hybrid virtual world. This is the information that will show up if somebody finds your club on Toastmasters International. If you go to the Find Your Club option, or if a prospective member does, by going to the website and clicking Find a Club here, and they put in a location near you and select your club from the results, they'll see this page about how to contact you or attend a meeting. This information, things on this page, come from this form. So when you rotate officers, or if you have an office that's a member of that's a corporate club and you switch locations, you need to update this information. There's also a relatively new thing in here that's pretty important, and that's this self-pay setting. Whether or not you set up the club to allow members to pay their own dues on TMI. All right, not a very often used section, but a pretty important one. Another one that's only used once a year, but is very important. The club officer assignment. This is important because it's tied to the CSP, not Club Success Plan, sorry. The DSP? I've never noticed the acronym's not actually on it, and I'm blanking. Regardless, this thing, the thing we all care about, DCP. One of the points is for getting the club officer list on time and for getting membership renewal dues on time. Membership renewal dues are likely being handled by your treasurer. Club officer list on time is nominally the responsibility of the president. Doesn't really matter as long as you're aligned and get it done. So when you have your elections, have somebody come in here and update the officers for the coming year before the end of the current Toastmasters year. Club Success Plan, no longer 36 pages. This is where you will set the plan for success for your club at the start of the year. It's an interactive form. I recommend filling it out. Club demographics. This is another section that's all about how do we get in touch with you? But this is more info about your club for Toastmasters to use, not to share with prospective members. So where do we mail things? What type of meetings do you hold? Hybrid? Is this an advanced club? Again, you shouldn't have to touch that one that often. Club events. Are you planning on doing an open house? Is it hybrid? Is it online? You can throw event information in here and they'll keep track of it. I don't know if there's going to be requirements around this for clubs that are struggling or new clubs or awards for this in the future, but it's kind of cool that they're starting to really give us the option to talk to them directly with data. Club financials. This is basically every time somebody pays their dues, and then monthly, basically a downloadable PDF of where your club stands financially with TMI. Have dues been paid? Is it self-pay? Is it not self-pay? What's going on with that? Addendum of standard club options. Basically, you can document more detailed information about your club. Do you use Robert's or somebody else's rules of order? How do you handle things? What are the traditions and norms that you want to put down on paper? Club achievements. Have you won a Smedley Award? Is your club president's distinguished? What years was your club president's distinguished? All that information is going to show up here. I think we actually probably won a couple of these. We might want to talk to them about that. Although we might have been excluded from membership. Goodness knows, the last couple of years have been rough. Distinguished performance reports. Again, this takes you here. It's a nice shortcut. Although if you're an officer, you should probably have this bookmarked in some way. I highly recommend bookmarking this and looking at it often, at least every executive committee meeting, possibly every membership meeting as well. These are the touchstones you want to track to make sure that you're doing the things you need to do to serve the members. Administrative reports. Want to know who the club president was 3 terms ago? Look to administrative reports. Want to know who founded your club? Well, the digital records don't go back to 1965. But this can be handy. This can be really handy, especially if you want to look up service of some of your more active members to award them at maybe an annual event or something. I've certainly pulled reports here and been very thankful for the ability to. And eligibility assistant. We all know speech contests are a long way off, which also means we should probably be getting ready for them now. This is where you can go to formally check somebody's eligibility. I don't want to get into the details of that. That would be a whole nother video, but this is a handy tool that's out there. So this has been Club Central. These are the things you can do. I've scratched the surface. There are tutorials. They are the same wonderful types of modules that we're used to from Pathways.
Club membership.
So
to view the tutorials
look forward to
associated
that.
with administration,
there is talk of changing the education platform for Pathways, and I don't know if that would also impact the tutorials or not, but I recommend checking them out. And you can usually do a search for anything you have questions about. And honestly, most websites, I skip this, but I have had lots of luck with this little chat button. Usually if I type in what I'm looking for here, there's some option that gets me in the direction I'm looking for. And of course, you can always ask a fellow officer. All right, if you have other questions, just reach out. Thanks.